Welcome back to Klinga Games. Today we are using a Necrozma Duskmane team. This team I think is pretty fun. It's a hard Trick Room team, which is the first I've used with a restricted format. But I think it turned out really well. It can be a little tough setting up Trick Room, and there's one particular matchup which this team is not great against. But all in all, it's a pretty good team and it's pretty fun. It uses some more obscure Pokemon and a couple you'd expect, but I think it's a pretty fun team. We'll go ahead and get into the battles in just a second. First, I wanted to apologize for taking a 2-week hiatus. I didn't really want to or plan to. I just got really busy with work, but I managed to scrape in a little bit of time to get this all planned up and set up. And then one other thing is that I'm doing live commentary for this video. I'm going to go ahead and try that again, just because it saves me time of having to record the battles, go back and review the battles, and then record audio. So hopefully you enjoy the live commentary. But again, I apologize, and I will try to get back to a regular uploading schedule. So we'll get into the battles now. Alright, so we got a game here against Alexandra, I'm not sure. With a Zacian, Urshifu, Rillaboom, Amoonguss, Whimsicott, and Regieleki. So I have to imagine that's Water Urshifu because they have 3 grass types on their team. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and go Entei, Porygon's 2, with Necrozma and Tapu Fini in the back. I think that's my best choice. Because Entei tears through their grass types. Porygon 2 is definite good choice to set up Trick Room. And if it is Water Urshifu, Tapu Fini is a good switch in if they lead it. Yeah, I think we're good there. Okay. It's been a long time since I've played. I've been very busy lately, so let's see exactly how rusty I am. And we're going live, so you'll hear the clicking of the buttons again, and my commentary may not be that good. Alright, so what do we got here? Ooh, I like that Regidrago hoodie. How'd you get that? And it's Dark Urshifu. What? Wild. Anyway. So they do lead their Urshifu into Porygon. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to Sacred Fire it and switch in Tapu Fini here. I can see them Tailwinding and close combating or taunting and close combating. I think they're probably going to ignore Entei right now, which I'm totally fine with. If they do target into the Entei, then, you know, good read. So we get the Misty Surge set up. I'm going to guess they're going to taunt into the Tapu Fini now. Was Porygon 2. Detect. Okay. Alright. I can live with that. And there's the taunt. Yep. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and I can see them Tailwinding here. There's not much I can do to stop it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to... I'm going to go ahead and Sacred Fire into Urshifu. And I think I'm good to just Muddy Water here. Or... what can they have in the back? They could have Rillaboom come in. I don't think they're going to switch in Rillaboom, especially with my Entei on the field. So I think I'm good to... yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Muddy Water just to see if I can get some accuracy drops. Maybe. So there's the Tailwind, yeah. Maybe Poison Jab? No, just Wicked Blow. Alright, into the Entei slot, I'm guessing. Yeah, okay. Which we do live. Nice. And it is Life Orb. Interesting. But we do not take it down, which is very bad for us. Since Entei is our best answer into that. But we do get to waste a turn of their Trick Room, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and Sacred Fire into the Whimsicott slot. And I'm just going to Muddy Water again. Okay. Bringing out Zacian. Interesting. So they're probably going to attack with Whimsicott here. Ooh, it's the shiny one. Nice. I need to go to GameStop and get my a code for it. Ooh, Dazzling Gleam. Okay. That's interesting. I'm curious why they decided to set up the Tailwind. Just kind of interesting there. No drops, so that's unfortunate. But I feel fairly comfortable about it. So let's go ahead and bring out Necrozma. And I'm going to go ahead and protect Necrozma. And how many turns of Tailwind do they have left? They have 2 turns of Tailwind. So I'm going to go ahead and protect here. No. Ah, crap. Okay. That was a misclick. Oh well. So there's a free substitute. That was really bad. I guess it could be worse. Alright. So we scout that out at the very least. So let's go ahead and Sunsteel Strike into the Whimsicott. Or no, let's go ahead and set up Trick Room here. And I think we'll go ahead and just Muddy Water again. I don't think their Behemoth Blade can knock out my Tapu Fini. I think we lost this game though. That misplay definitely hurt us. Alright. There's Behemoth Blade. Into Tapu Fini, who takes it not well at all. Alright. And then we Muddy Water here. Get not terrible damage. We do get the extra drop on Whimsicott. That's not the one we wanted. Alright. So what do we do here? So let's go ahead and Sunsteel Strike into the Zacian. And I think we'll just go ahead and protect you. Yeah. I think that's a misplay by them. I think they're too far ahead for us to win. But I think it's a misplay on their part. Okay. Oh, that's really big. That's a lot of damage. That's pretty big for us. Yeah, so there's Urshifu. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch out into Porygon 2, and I'm going to Moonblast into Urshifu. I think they're going to Wicked Blow into the Necrozma slot. Okay, not bad there. There's the Dazzle. P2 avoids it. Tapu Fini does not. Wicked Blow into the Porygon 2 slot. Nice. Okay, that's big. Okay. That's huge. Yeah. Dazzling Gleam Mist didn't matter in the slightest unless that Whimsicott is the strongest Whimsicott in existence. But yeah, that's really big. I'm really surprised that Sunsteel Strike beat. Huh, that's interesting. Alright, so what do I think they're going to do here? I think they're going to taunt into the Porygon 2 slot, and they're going to Grassy Glide into Tapu Fini. So I'm going to go ahead and Ice Beam into Rillaboom and protect my Tapu Fini. But with Necrozma in the back, we're in a very good position because Necrozma walls Rillaboom unless it's got knockoff. Fake out. Alright, that's fair. Dazzle. Protected. Avoided. Nice. Whew. Those muddy waters are really paying dividends now. So I think what I want to do here is... so they haven't taunted yet, which is interesting. Right? Unless Porygon... Did I miss being taunted? No, I didn't miss being taunted. One turn of Tailwind left. I'm going to just Ice Beam into Rillaboom and switch into Necrozma. Because that lets us reset the terrain. Yep, so there's a taunt, which... No, it would have gone last, so they had no way of knowing that I was attacking there. Because Porygon 2 was the slowest thing in the field. Oh yeah, that's a win. There's nothing they can do now. Whew. I'm really surprised we pulled this one off. I shouldn't talk yet. We haven't won yet, but whew. Man, that Zacian was scary, but Necrozma does a really good job against it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just Ice Beam and Sunsteel Strike. Unless they protect, this should just be a double KO and a win for us. And they taunt. Why? Huh, that's interesting. Knockoff. Yeah, but you're not going to live another turn, so why knockoff? I mean, both these Pokemon are... I mean, they could get a roll with the Porygon 2, but their Whimsicott's definitely not sticking around. I don't know, I feel like that's just a wasted turn there. I mean, really, it's pretty much over, but you really think he got over damage there, but, you know, oh well. We get a crit. Of course, I always get crits when it doesn't matter in the slightest, but good game, Alexander. Yes, that was a really fun one. Looks like I'm not as rusty as I thought it would be. So we'll get into another game. Alright, looks like we have a battle against I Don't Know Your Name and a team that I hate. This team is not a great matchup against Kyogre. It's not a terrible matchup, I would say, but certainly not great. Especially when our two best answers are Moltres and Tapu Fini, but they've got Regieleki, so that's a little upsetting there. But what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? I think we go... I want to say P2 Tapu Fini. No. Yeah, we'll go P2 Tapu Fini with Necrozma and... I want to say Slowking. Yeah, we'll do that. Kyogre honestly is not a great matchup for this team. So we'll see if this battle is even entertaining enough to make it into the video. Alright. Hammerlock Stadium. So pretty cool setup here. Interesting trainer card. Very corporate. So Kyogre Incineroar. Alright. I think I'm okay with that. It's obviously not great because we're yeah, we're kind of taunt bait here. I don't have a great switch in. Not taunt, but fake out. Maybe Entei would have been a better bring here, because then we can outspeed and at least get a Snarl off before we get KO'd. But I'm not totally sure. So let's see here. We get our attack raised. Of course we do. Alright, so let's just go ahead and try for the Trick Room, and we'll go ahead and Muddy Water here. Accuracy drops and all that. Although I guess, yeah, Moonblast would have been better. Because then we have a chance for a special attack drop, which we kind of sort of desperately need. But we'll see. The rain boosts my Muddy Water as well, so we may be able to take out Incineroar here. But that's not too great. And also, if we knock out Incineroar here, that makes Slowking kind of useless. Slowking is basically on this team to remove stat drops against Necrozma. Oh, they fake out the Feeny. Interesting. Because Porygon 2 lives that. Alright. I mean, certainly not the worst thing that can happen. And we lived that water spout pretty well. So I think we just go ahead and we double up. Wait, what can they bring in here? Can they bring anything that scares me? Not really. Not if we double up with Tri-Attack and Moonblast here. Because Incineroar can Parting Shot, but I'm not too scared of that. As long as we get some damage onto Kyogre here. Maybe a status? No. Oh yeah, duh, Misty Train. Alright, well, yeah. They get their Parting Shot off, but we do get a decent amount of damage here into Kyogre. Now this is Regieleki, that would be, you know, ideal. Serena, okay. And a Love Ball, and of course it's a shiny. I have a feeling this guy hacked his entire team just based on these first 3 Pokemon. That did nothing. Oh, thank God. That's huge. Alright, Water Spout should do about half of what it did before. A little bit more. Okay. And I don't think Serena has any priority moves. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and cover. And do I just want to sack it? What's it getting me later? Not much. I guess I can Heal Pulse here. Yes, let's go ahead and Tri-Beam. No. Let's go ahead and recover. And let's go Moonblast again. Well, that was a mistake. Oh well. The recover is pretty nice here. If they knock out Tapu Fini, then I get my Necrozma in for free. So I'm okay with that. Well, this could be High Jump Kick. No, it's Power Whip. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too mad about that. We do lose our best answer into Incineroar, but Slowking's still okay. So I'm going to go ahead and as long as we have these two out on the field together, we can reverse, we can double set our own Trick Room. So I think I'm good to just Ice Beam into Serena, and I'm honestly okay with Photo Geysering here into Kyogre. I think they're going to switch it out into Incineroar. But if I'm overthinking it, then they could read me here. So I'm going to go ahead and attack into Kyogre, expecting them to expect me. Yeah, I think they're going to... Nope. Okay, I overthought it. That's fun. It's not so bad, though. I mean, I still get the Ice Beam into Serena. And then this turn I can switch it in to bring Slowking in. So I get the nice Ice Beam here into Serena, which does almost nothing, so that's Assault Vest. Photo Geyser, yeah. Photon Geyser, not Photo Geyser. It's Payback. Oh, that's not good. That's not so bad, though. Worse things have happened. Okay. Alright, how many turns of Trick Room are left? 1 turn of Trick Room. That's not good. It's not so bad. So I'm going to go ahead and try attack into Serena and Photon Geyser into Serena. I'm expecting them to switch it out into Kyogre. If they don't switch it out into Kyogre, then I get a free Trick Room next turn. If they do switch it out into Kyogre, then I could potentially take out Kyogre right now, which would be great. So it looks like they do not switch it out into Kyogre, which isn't the best, but it's certainly not the worst thing that can happen. Necrozma flinched, U-turn. Oh, never mind, it's got U-turn, so I do lose. Although, rain should be ending here. So they do lose that chunk of power on their water spout, which is massive. Alright, rain ends. Please tell me rain ends. Rain stopped. Yep, okay. So, what do I do here? I think the obvious play is Trick Room with Porygon 2. But I don't know if I have a better play than that. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. And protect with my Necrozma. Yeah, this team does not have a great matchup against Kyogre teams. Alright, now can Porygon 2 live a Flare Blitz from this range? Yeah, that was an obvious play. Yes, it can! Oh, I love you, Porygon 2! Oh, Porygon 2 is so good. Alright, Porygon 2 just stays on the field forever. So let's go ahead and recover. And Photon Geyser into the Kyogre slot. They're probably going to protect, and I'm probably fine with that. As long as I get my Porygon 2 recovered up, then that's fine with me. They don't protect it. Interesting. I guess they were thinking that I wouldn't attack into it because I know that it has protect. That's certainly a strategy. Although I did get my attack lowered, so it doesn't do the most damage in the world. And the Necrozma takes a pretty big chunk there, but Sin takes a good chunk in return. And they use Scald, so they do take out my Necrozma here. That's okay. I think. I don't know. Let's find out together. Let's go ahead and bring in my Slowking. Okay, so let's go ahead and just try attack into Kyogre, and let's go ahead and... How many turns of Trick Room are left? 3, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and Scald Incineroar. Yep. Saw that one coming. That's not great. Okay, that probably wins in the game. That's frustrating. Alright. It's not over yet, though. So I think my play is to try attack Incineroar. I don't know if it takes it out. I don't know if Foul Play takes Kyogre out from this range. I guess I gotta risk it. Oh, what's coming in? Serena? That, it might actually do me a lot of good. Not nearly as much good as I was hoping for. Okay. They're probably gonna snarl again if I had to guess. Yeah. So I guess we're playing the crit game. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and devote a turn to this. Double Trick Room. Kyogre teams are so boring. I really hate Kyogre teams. Alright. I'm wondering what their fourth Pokemon is that they refuse to show me. I don't care about Serena at this point. Let's see if this takes it out. And it does. Incineroar is finally off the board. So this game's not over yet, but it is vastly approaching that direction. That does a lot of damage. Slowking gets to show off his stuff though, so it's not the worst. It's not the worst battle in the world, but Kyogre teams are so boring. We should still have 3 turns of Trick Room left, I think. So we're in a pretty good spot. Tornadus is the last one. Interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead and just Ice Beam into Tornadus and Foul Play into Serena. The Tornadus does scare me a lot, especially in this endgame with such a low health Slowking. If we can get a freeze on it though, that would be perfect. Let's get a freeze. Let's hope we get a freeze. That'd be great. Bye, Serena. Let's see how much this does. Slash does. Do we get a freeze? That does a lot. No freeze though. Hits the Hurricane on Slowking. Not great, if I'm being honest. And it's Life Orb. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can get a crit. If not, we lose. No pressure, Porygon. Alright. Let's see what we can do here. Unless... Oh, crap. They're going to protect. They are going to protect. I really should have thought this through. I should have Ice Beamed into Tornadus. Yeah, because they're going to protect, get the Hurricane. They're not going to protect. Wow. Interesting. But we're not going to get the crit. So we're going to lose. Yeah, there's no way we survive this Hurricane. Well, I guess mostly good game to my opponent. Boring team. Kind of see it all across the board, but you know, it's boring for a reason. It's good. So, good game to my opponent. Alright. Next we got Sema with a pretty cool Xerneas team. Whimsicott, Xerneas, Rillaboom, Incineroar, Malamar, Tapu Fini. So, double Fairy, double Fake Out, Malamar, and Whimsicott. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. I think to start things, we want to go with Entei, Porygon 2, with Necrozma, and they just have one Intimidator, but do we want Slowking? No, I think we want Tapu Fini. Yeah. Tapu Fini in Fairy Aura could be very dangerous for my opponent's team. especially if we can control the terrain. If we can get Rillaboom off the field early, then that would be very big for us. Alright, they are really confused by my team, which, to be fair, my team's a little weird. But, you know. Alright, Hammerlock Stadium. Which one's Hammerlock? It's the dragon one, right? Yeah, it's the dragon one. Okay. Oh yeah, mine's Hammerlock. That's why I completely forgot. Alright, so we got Whimsicott and Malamar up front. Interesting. So we do get the special attack raise, which is nice. So let's go ahead and Sacred Fire into Malamar. And we'll go ahead and try and Trick Room right away. Yeah, let's go ahead and try and Trick Room right away. They're probably going to taunt, but with the Sacred Fire into Malamar, I'm not too worried. Yeah, there it is. Yep, but you gotta, especially if you're playing a hard Trick Room team, you gotta go ahead and take those chances. So we do get the burn on Malamar, which is great. Superpower into Entei, or into Porygon 2, which I definitely do not care about. Well, I care about it a little bit, but not too much. So Malamar's on a timer. So let's go ahead and Sacred Fire into Whimsicott and bring in Necrozma. Because I can knock Malamar out with another Sacred Fire anytime I want at this point. And if they try a Tailwind with Whimsicott, it's a little bit scary, I guess, but even then I think my Choice Scarf Entei beats there. Yeah, okay. So that's nice. So they actually don't intimidate my Necrozma, which is very good for me. Yep, there's the Tailwind. Okay. And there goes Whimsicott. Nope. Alright, it sticks around for another turn. Thanks to the Focus Sash. So let's go ahead and I want to go and Sacred Fire into it again. And bring in Tapu Fini, I think. Or so let's Sacred Fire into it again and do I just want to try and Trick Room with it? I kind of just want to try and Trick Room with it. But no, I think I'm probably going to take a lot of damage if I do that. I can just Protect. That's an option. Sacred Fire and Protect. I don't know why it took me so long to see that option, but it's definitely an option. Yeah, okay. Sometimes the obvious play eludes you for the longest time. So this team actually has a really good matchup against Xerneas, so I'm enjoying this matchup so far. Will-O-Wisp. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, Incineroar. Interesting moveset. Bring in the Malamar. Alright. Well, you know what we say to that is we say, I'm not sure yet. So let's just go ahead and take you out, and we'll bring Porygon 2 back in. Alright. Special attack? Special attack. I love it. Okay. So we get a nice Sacred Fire into Malamar here. It's gone. Yeah. Choice Scarf Entei beats Tailwind Malamar. There's the Flare Blitz into the Porygon 2 slot, formerly the Necrozma slot. I'm okay with that. So they're down to just these two Pokemon. So now we're free from Intimidate, which is very good. So let's go ahead and... yeah. Risk it. Because if they Geomancy, then we get our Trick Room up. Yeah, there's Geomancy. I was going to say, if they don't Geomancy, and they attack and knock out Porygon 2, then Necrozma takes them out the next turn. So, very, very safe turn here for me. Because now, both of these Pokemon are fodder, and I can just bring in... oh, okay, Tailwind. I can just bring in Necrozma under Trick Room and take out Xerneas, especially with that much damage on it, and a burn. Whew. Entei doing damage. Alright, and then we get the Trick Room off. And with Geomancy, Entei should still outspeed even with Tailwind ending. So let's just go ahead and Sacred Fire into it again, and we will... I think just recover here. Yeah, let's just bide our time. Or, no, I really should have let... no, I should have let it get knocked out. That was stupid. Okay. Oh well. Their protecting doesn't do a whole lot for them right now, because our Entei's still going to outspeed under Trick Room. And that Incineroar is not going to be doing any damage that they need it to. It's doing a lot of damage. It's got a lot of attack investment for an Incineroar. But, at the same time, is not in a very favorable position. So, I think at this point, we're pretty free to just Sacred Fire and let's go ahead and just Tri-Beam into it. So this should really just be... oh, critical hit. It didn't really matter. Sacred Fire was going to knock it out anyway. But I was... oh man, I was surprised at that damage. Yeah, and then it's just Entei versus the world. So, yeah, this team has a very good matchup against Xerneas. Kyogre is definitely its worst matchup. But at the same time, I think this person got hurt a little bit by their use of Malamar. Malamar is not exactly the best option. And there's probably a reason for that. And battle canceled, so yeah. Good game to my opponent. He was just in a losing matchup, but good game, Simo. Alright, game against Vada with Yveltal team. A very cool Yveltal team, if I have to say so myself. Alright, so you got Incineroar, Rillaboom, Comfey, Yveltal, Metagross, and Milotic. So, Milotic is actually the one that scares me the most here. I don't have a great answer into it. But I think I want to go ahead and go Entei, Moltres with Porygon 2 and Necrozma in the back, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. The thing that scares me the most here is if I lead Entei into if I lead Moltres into Milotic. Because Moltres' best option here is Snarl to try and lower special attack. But if they bring in Milotic, then we could activate competitive, which would be a very big problem for us. So we'll see how this goes. I do really like Milotic. It's one of my favorite Pokemon to use in this series. But it can be frustrating to go against. Alright, this isn't so bad. I'm not too mad at this. Okay. Okay, so we go ahead and we Sacred Fire into the Metagross slot. And let's just go ahead and Fire you Wrath here as well. Pretty safe option here. Okay, withdraw Metagross, but there's not a whole lot that I want to switch into a Sacred Fire. And I think Entei should be able to take one hit from my Milotic, as long as it doesn't have competitive activated. So it's a berry comfy. Interesting. Raises defense. Alright. Yeah, one Scald should not be enough to take out Entei, but very close. So you go ahead and get a Fire Wrath off, and we're not faster than my Milotic, which is kind of what I was hoping for. But let's go ahead and switch in Porygon 2. And we will go ahead and I kind of see them. I think it's a definite possibility that they switch out into Yveltal, but I don't know if I can risk that, so I'm gonna just go ahead and Fiery Wrath again. They could just Draining Kiss into my Moltres. Alright. Let's see if I should have gone with a risky play. No, okay. Yeah, I shouldn't do a whole lot. That's more than I'd like, though, to be honest. There's a Scald, as expected. Probably gets a burn. No, it doesn't, but I'm okay with that. But I'm okay with that. Of course, I'm okay with not getting burnt. Alright, so let's go ahead and just Trick Room here. And we will go ahead and Fire Wrath again. Why not? Calm Mind. Not what I was expecting. Recover. Okay, so it's an annoying Milotic. I say as if I didn't run a very annoying Milotic set myself. Okay, so we get a nice Fiery Wrath off here, which does almost nothing to the Comfy. And a nice Trick Room here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just try attacking the Comfy and switch into Necrozma. I see them draining kissing here again, or Calm Minding. My only fear here is that they predict the switch on Moltres and Scald into that slot with my Milotic, which it wouldn't be the end of the world, because Necrozma is not really my in-game option anyway, because they're restricted as Yveltal. And I've seen 3 of their 4 Pokemon, and I'm assuming their last one is... Oh, Giga Drain, interesting. Okay, but I've seen 3 of their 4 Pokemon. I'm pretty sure the last one is a Weakness Policy Yveltal. So getting Comfy off the board as soon as possible is a definite win for us. Which we almost do, but we do get the Paralysis, so that's not too bad. And they do Scald into the Porygon slot. Alright, I can live with that. How many turns of Trick Room do we have left? 3 turns. Perfect. Okay. So what we want to do here is we want to Tri-Attack into the Milotic slot, and we want to go ahead and Sunsteel Strike into the Comfy slot. Into Incineroar, I'm guessing? Metagross. Duh, I don't know what I don't know why I thought Incineroar, but okay. So we get the Tri-Attack into Milotic. Let's see how much this does. Great amount of damage. Oh, it's critical hit. Okay. And a burn, which doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Is that a Lumberry? It is. Very cool. Alright, let's see how much this does. This will be a nice little barometer for us. Not a whole lot. Scald and Necrozma. Yep. Do they get the burn? They do get the burn. Alright, well, that's unfortunate, but it's not the end of my life. So I think the most important thing here is that we get my Milotic off the board as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and double up into that. Metagross does not really scare me a whole lot. Bye, Milotic. Was there Comfy Shiny as well? Meteor Mash into the Porygon slot. Does a whole lot of damage. More than I'd like to see, but, you know, worse things have happened. Yep, there's Yveltal. Okay. So I think the most important thing here is keeping Trick Room up. Is that what I want? Who do I have in the back? Entei and Moltres. No, I don't want to keep Trick Room up. So let's just go ahead and try attack into the Metagross slot and Sunsteel Strike into the Yveltal slot. If we get the burn, that'd be great, but we do not, which isn't that expected. It's only 10% chance, so oh well. We get a nice Sunsteel Strike here into the Yveltal slot, which just does not do nearly as much as I was hoping for. So actually Dark Pulse in the Porygon slot, which is smart, really smart by them. But here's what I have. I have a Choice Scarf Entei. Did I already use my berry on Necrozma? Let's check, shall we? I do still have my berry on Necrozma. So I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and Sacred Fire here and just Sunsteel Strike into the Yveltal. Or should I go ahead and Trick Room? Let me go ahead and Trick Room. I think they might Sucker Punch with Yveltal. There it is. Okay. Alright. So we do get hit, but that's not the end of the world. Okay, so Necrozma's not in the best position in the world, but it's not the worst position either. So here's what I'm going to do. Is I am going to Snarl and Protect. Because I can see a Dark Pulse coming in right now. Or a Sucker Punch, that works too. Oh, they Sucker Punch their own Metagross. Oh, their Metagross has the weakness policy. Interesting. And then a Bullet Punch here? No? That's okay, my Snarl takes it out. That is very interesting. Okay, I've been playing safe this whole time around Yveltal, expecting it to be the weakness policy user. That was a very risky move, and I appreciate it. Alright, so let's just go ahead and Snarl and Protect again. I can see them going for a Sucker Punch into Necrozma here. Which we don't get it. Comfy's paralyzed. We get the Snarl off. So we get a nice KO onto Comfy. And we get almost no damage on the Yveltal. So they might be Assault Vest. We are Assault Vest on our Moltres. Do we live this? Oh, we do, but not in any meaningful way. Alright. So they have Oblivion Wing, which scares me a little bit. But if we can Snarl them down, we can probably finish them off with Foul Plays. So they're -2 now. an Oblivion Wing into Moltres. How much does that do? Not a lot. Alright, that's beautiful. Okay. So if we can get them down to -4, I think we can maybe win with foul plays. That's not great. Okay. Oh, we do get Berserk though. That's nice. That is a lot. That was not a critical hit? Oh, wow. Alright. So what's the field look like? -3. I think I'm okay to just start foul playing. Yeah, I'm okay with start foul playing. Because they have massive attack stat. Their Oblivion Wing's not doing a whole lot. Let's see how much this foul play does. I might switch to Fiery Wrath. I think I was doing more damage with Snarl. Let's try Fiery Wrathing them. See how much that does. We're kind of playing the crit game here. Let's see how much this does. Nice. Alright. That's a win. We are the better Dark Bird. Alright, so very good game, Vada. Yeah, that was a fun one. I really struggled at the end, so a really good game. Alright, so a quick overview of the team here, which I have nicknamed Darth Cat because of Necrozma Duskmane, which I was never a huge fan of the Necrozma forms. Its original form is still my favorite design-wise, but the jump from Gen 7 to Gen 8 was such a blessing for Necrozma Duskmane. It looks so cool in this gen, in my opinion at least. Which is one of the reasons I chose to build a team around it instead of Solgaleo. But anyway, so we got Prism Armor, its only ability, with a Citrus Berry, with Protect, Photon Geyser, Sunsteel Strike, and Trick Room. The Citrus Berry is just to give it some extra bulk. It lets it survive, lets it turn some 2-hit KOs into 3-hit KOs, which is really nice. It's one of the 3 Trick Room setters in this team. And it's just got its 2 best attacks, Photon Geyser, Sunsteel Strike with Protect. Necrozma is a bit of Intimidate bait. It's very easy to shut down just by running Intimidate and switching it in and out. So that's why I have Slowking on this team, because of its unique ability. So the next step we'll talk about is Slowking with Curious Medicine, Rocky Helmet, and Protect, Scald, Foul Play, and Trick Room. So I love Slowking. It's always been my favorite of the Slow Bros, of the Slow Twins. And I really like the Galarian Slowking. It looks a lot better than the Galarian Slow Bro in my opinion. I don't like the whole Shelter Gun kind of look. But it's got a really cool unique ability called Curious Medicine, which is an interesting ability. It pairs really well with Pokemon like Necrozma that are kind of Intimidate bait. And so if Necrozma's attack gets lowered by the opponent, you can just switch in Slowking and just erase those attack drops. So it's really nice to bring in after a couple Intimidates just to surprise the opponent with a big chunk of damage. So we've got Protect, which is just the best move. Scald is really good against Incineroar especially, and it also can really help against Zacian under Trick Room, because then it gives you a 30% chance to burn it, along with being pretty decent special damage. And then we have Foul Play, which one is very good against Necrozma counters, or Necrozma doubles, but the best reason to use it is for Calyrex Ice. So Calyrex Ice has a massive attack and is faster than Slowking. So under Trick Room, Foul Play does a huge chunk of damage. So if you pair that up with Sunsteel Strike from Necrozma, Calyrex Ice is not even a threat to this team, which is a really nice aspect to have to a Trick Room team, especially a hard Trick Room team like this one is. Third up, we have Tapu Fini with Misty Surge, Leftovers, with Protect, Muddy Water, Moonblast, and Heal Pulse. So this is another Pokemon that is primarily on the team to support Necrozma and get the Necrozma up and running. For one, it's another Pokemon with a good Water-type move to deal with Incineroar, which is, I would say, roughest Pokemon to run into with Necrozma, so that's why so much of this team is dedicated to stopping it. But also it gets a Misty Surge to prevent burns, which is a double-edged sword kind of, because Slowking likes to burn Zacian, but with Tapu Fini it can't, so you kind of have to pick your poison with the two. A big thing to help decide is if your opponent's going to burn Necrozma, you want to bring Tapu Fini. If they're going to intimidate Necrozma to death, you want to bring Slowking. And if you don't really want to put a status on the opponent, you can just bring both. Moonblast destroys dark types, which can give Necrozma trouble. And then Heal Pulse pairs really well with the Citrus Berry to just kind of keep Necrozma on the field way longer than the opponent would like it to be. And it can just continue to dish out the big attacks that it has. Fourth, we have Porygon 2 with Download and an Eviolite. This Porygon 2 has Tri-Attack, Ice Beam, Trick Room, and Recover. Porygon 2 is definitely the most reliable Trick Room setter on this team. Necrozma can set it itself, but ideally you want to use Porygon 2 to set up the Trick Room because it can take a whole lot of abuse, and it can recover itself after Trick Room. So you got Tri-Attack, which gives you the triple chance to put a status on the opponent, along with being a really good stab move, and Ice Beam, which helps deal with Yveltal and grass types that Tapu Fini can have trouble against, and then just Recover, which is just amazing. Fifth up is Moltres with Berserk and an Assault Vest with Fiery Wrath, Snarl, Sucker Punch, and Foul Play. So you just have the quadruple dark type moves, but they all serve a unique purpose, so none of them really seem obsolete. So Fiery Wrath is the best move Moltres has. It just has the double flinch chance if you can get in the right speed position, which this Moltres is close to minimum speed, but it's not exactly minimum speed. It's got like 3 IVs, so it can function really well in Trick Room. Snarl lowers the opponent's special attack, which is really good, as you can see in the battle against Yveltal against special attackers. Sucker Punch gives it a nice priority move, which is a godsend against Calyrex Shadow teams. It has just enough attack EVs to one-hit KO Calyrex. It actually has a little bit more, just in case you run into him with bulk, but it's just a clean KO if you get a Sucker Punch into Calyrex Shadow. And then Foul Play is really good against Zacians and against the Necrozma doubles, like I mentioned, and Calyrex Ice. So Foul Play is really good against the physical attackers that can give a lot of trouble, which is more important to take out because the Assault Vest lets Moltres stick around for a really long time. The last Pokemon is Entei with an Inner Focus and a Choice Scarf, with Sacred Fire, Stomping Tantrum, Crunch, and Snarl. So Sacred Fire is what you're going to be running almost every time when you bring Entei. But Entei is mostly here to be a counter to Zacian, and it's also very good for getting rid of Calyrex Shadow Rider and Stakataka. So Sacred Fire obviously destroys Zacian. It's an amazing move, especially on Entei. Stomping Tantrum is 4 times effective against Stakataka, which is one of the best counters to this team. Tapu Fini can shut down a Moongus, but Stakataka can continue to be a nuisance. So it's very important to take that out pretty early. And Necrozma can do pretty good damage into it as well, along with Tapu Fini and Slowking. So it's not going to destroy your team, but it can be very frustrating with the incredibly slow Rock Slides and Trick Room. And then Crunch is a one-hit KO against Calyrex Shadow, which in this format is probably the most important thing to have on a team. And then Snarl can just pair up really well with Moltres to just constantly lower the special attack of your opponent. So Entei was the last Pokemon I added, but it really helps cover a lot of this team's weaknesses, especially Calyrex Shadow, which is the second to worst matchup for Necrozma. Well, I would say it's the worst matchup for Necrozma, but for this particular team, Kyogre is definitely the worst matchup. Tapu Fini and Porygon 2 can live Water Spouts, but beyond that, it's very hard to get a foothold against Kyogre teams, because even though they both can live a Water Spout, neither one can really damage it. So you kind of have to rely on getting Trick Room up and lowering Kyogre's HP and special attack, which Moonblast can do, but it's not reliable. And Kyogre usually runs with Tornadus, which carries Taunt. So it can be a little tough to match up against Kyogre. But pretty much every other archetype, this team has an answer for. And even Kyogre is it's not a hopeless case, it's just a tough battle. So if you're playing a good opponent with a Kyogre team, then you're kind of playing uphill. But it's a really cool team. It's got a pretty good matchup against most teams in the meta. And I really enjoyed playing with it. I really enjoyed making it. Necrozma Duskmane has quietly become one of my favorites, just building this team. I was never a huge fan of it, but I had a lot of fun playing with it. So if you want to check it out, the rental code is obviously here. And I will also put a Pokepaste in the description. So hopefully you give it a shot. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I apologize for being off schedule and taking that hiatus. Hopefully things will settle down with work and I'll have a little bit more time to record battles and set up teams and everything. But I'm going to try and do a fairly regular upload schedule. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking out the 2 weeks. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the team. It's a pretty fun team. I hope you guys check it out. Like I mentioned, there's a Pokepaste in the description if you want to play on Showdown with it. But yeah, that's about it. So I will go ahead and sign off now.